Self-confidence is determined by our subjective perception of ourselves, our capabilities and skills, our psycho-emotional state, our beliefs, and internal attitudes. Also, this quality is based on our existing skills and abilities. When you are good at something and at the same time you succeed in this skill, you have less food for doubting it. Suppose you have never had communication problems and you phrase things clearly. People love listening to you and you always see that excellent impression you make on other people. In that case, you will not doubt yourself as a communicator. But it's not always as simple as that. Often, we do not have an adequate assessment of our skills, and no matter what we can and what we cannot, we still doubt ourselves. You should know that self-confidence is about different aspects. It is confidence in one's abilities, it is self-confidence during communication, expressed in firmness, perseverance, and lack of shyness. It is the perception of your real qualities. By developing these qualities, you can become confident in them. So let's get down to the 10 mental hacks to transform yourself and become more confident. Hack number 1. Don't try to get rid of doubts, live with them. Doubts and uncertainties are natural. They accompany any action. It is not always possible to run away from them, and there is nothing wrong with the fact that you doubt it. Moreover, this is normal, because you started to do something new and unusual for yourself. Therefore, your first task is not to resolve doubts, but simply to do your own thing, not listening to the voice of uncertainty when it disturbs you. The fact is that doubts are mostly just emotions that have nothing to do with reality. If you think that something will not work for you, this doesn't mean that you will not succeed if you try your best. If it seems to you that they will not understand you and laugh at you, this doesn't mean that everything will be like that. Doubt and confidence are continually replacing each other. Remember the moments when you doubted something, and the next day you were more sure of it than ever. Usually, people are more confident in themselves in the morning, when they are full of energy. Self-confidence depends on your tone, your mood, and even your health. It is merely one of the emotional states that come and go. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should ignore this condition in every case. Sometimes it can tell you something, for example, that you overestimate your strength. But in other cases, you need to stop listening to this voice of doubt and act. It's okay to doubt yourself, and sometimes it even helps you get rid of overconfidence. But doubts should not get in the way of all your endeavors. Being confident in yourself does not mean never doubting yourself. Being confident means overcoming your doubts and fears. Hack number 2. Know your strengths. People tend to overestimate the significance of the present moment, and they extrapolate their current state to the global perspective of life. If it seems to them now that they are capable of nothing, they begin to think that it has always been this way, despite all past successes. At such moments, try to look at reality and your actual capabilities and successes without succumbing to the current state. It's like, in fact, I can do this and that. I have already achieved this and that. We recommend that you dwell on the facts and no longer argue with yourself. If your doubts are caused by your current mood, you most likely will not be able to get rid of them until this condition passes. Therefore, your task will be to convince yourself that these doubts are groundless and do not relate to reality. And if you start thinking about it a lot, then your mind, bound by a state of fatigue, will continue to doubt and lead you to insecurity. So tell yourself that these doubts are lies. Rely on reality, not emotions. Hack number 3. Don't listen to people who say you can't do it. Sometimes, when you are in doubt about something, you share your plans with your friends and acquaintances. You expect to receive support from them, but often you only get a stop sign. Some people cannot dispel your doubts because they care about their psychological comfort, not about your happiness. You do not think that you are the only insecure person and you are surrounded only by self-confident people, do you? Unfortunately, most people never dare to do something bold and independent. They want to believe that if something doesn't work out for them, you won't succeed either. They secretly desire your failure and even wait for it, because your success can be a living reproach to them, a reminder of missed opportunities. Therefore, talk about your endeavors with those people who have already achieved some success in the area you are interested in. Let them be your role models, not those who failed. Hack number 4. Remember, everything depends only on you. While you are plagued by doubts, I can't do anything, I'm not capable of anything, I can't. And others, remember that everything depends only on your will. You yourself determine whether something will work out for you or not. If you want and show diligence, then everything will work out. And even if not, then try again. You are a free person, and no innate qualities or character traits can prevent you from achieving your goal and becoming the kind of person you want to become. There are many more things that are subject to your will than you yourself used to think. You should stop seeing limits where there are none. Don't be afraid of difficulties. Just take action. Hack number 5. Get rid of perfectionism. You are not perfect, and nobody is. Accept this. Therefore, do not react painfully to your mistakes and failures that undermine your self-confidence. Everyone is wrong, and that is okay. Therefore, be calm about your mistakes. If you feel that you did something wrong or said something wrong, then just draw conclusions from the situation and learn a lesson. Try not to make this mistake in the future, instead of worrying about how stupidly you have behaved. It is common for people to make mistakes. There is nothing to worry about. Hack number 6. Don't try to seem better than you are. You should not try to convince people that you are the smartest, most sophisticated, most erudite person in the world. Such attempts, as a rule, indicate a lack of confidence in some of your qualities. Therefore, in some cases, vanity, boasting, excessive assertiveness in communication can speak of internal doubts in oneself. So stop bragging and striving to impress everyone. First of all, you need to convince yourself that you're worth something. Be who you are when communicating with other people. Hack number 7. Be sincere. Do not go inside yourself. Speak openly about your views and thoughts if the situation allows it, and this will not disturb other people. Be confident in your thoughts and speak about them directly. Do not be afraid that you will be criticized or misunderstood. Don't be scared to admit your own wrong and to give up your views if someone convinces you. Discuss topics that bother you to find out someone else's opinion, thus expanding your horizons. When you speak out loud about yourself and present your thoughts for judgment, you have to eliminate all doubts. And this action will help you be more confident in yourself, because you will deal with criticism and other people's opinions face to face. Take the first step. Start a sincere dialogue as delicately as possible, removing all barriers. Be honest with the person you are talking to, and then the other person will also be frank with you. As soon as someone opens up to meet you, your faith in yourself will increase. Hack number 8. Don't look for the problem in yourself every time. It's true that in many situations you need to take responsibility upon yourself and not shift it to other people or external circumstances. But this should be understood correctly. This means that you yourself can decide what your life will be, but that doesn't mean that you should look for the problem only in yourself. If people do not understand you or do not support the topics that you raise in the conversation, this doesn't always mean that you are the only one to blame. Sometimes it's other people's problems, not yours. There are people who cannot understand you. There are people who laugh at everyone because they have such a character. There are people who always criticize everything because they are angry with the world. You will not be able to find a common language with all people. There is no getting away from this. You don't have to blame yourself for things that are not your fault. Hack number 9. Ask yourself, so what? You think you made a wrong impression. So what? Who cares what other people think? Moreover, you should not worry about it if you see these people for the first time, and in the future you will not have any relationship with them. You are afraid that this girl will turn you down if you ask her out on a date. Even if she refuses, so what? What's the difference? Why be afraid of that? Are you afraid of your boss? Why are you afraid of him? What can he do to you? He's the same person as you. Children in kindergarten are sometimes scared of their teacher. Don't be that kid. Are you scared of going for an interview? Are you afraid to ask for a higher salary? Are you afraid that someone thinks of you badly? Why should you care about that? Let them believe what they want. You have your own plans and your goals. Some absurd fear should not get in your way. If you ask these questions every time you feel fear and doubt, you will find that many situations do not deserve to be worried about. There is no point in being afraid of people who cannot do you any harm. Hack number 10. Develop yourself. Of course, it is tough to be confident in your qualities if these qualities are poorly developed. Self-confidence should be based on something real, on your real worth. Self-perception and emotional attitude are essential components of self-confidence. People need to stop belittling their dignity and learn to cope with doubts. Unfortunately, this is not enough. It is not entirely correct to artificially increase people's self-esteem, convincing them that they are better than they really are. An increase in self-confidence must necessarily be accompanied by self-improvement to develop something that you can be sure of. Therefore, develop your personality, develop willpower, improve self-control. Read more books of any kind, fiction, science books, educational books, etc. Improve your professional qualities. Think about what you want to do for your whole life and follow these goals. Always strive to learn something new about this world to master some new skills. Think about what you're good at. If you constantly learn something, put your skills into practice, and see the feedback to your actions, there will be much less space for self-doubt. Final thoughts. Remember, any quality can be developed. You suffer from self-doubt not because you are just that kind of person, but because you have not made enough effort to change. Make sure you follow our 10 mental hacks to become more confident and watch how you transform your life.